Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, January 15th, 2024. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. I saw some flakes yesterday, and it made me happy. I hear there are more on the way, so you want to stay tuned for George. He'll give you all that information in just a bit. And my food recommendation for today, 100 Lots in Edgewater, Stroganoff lasagna. Trust me on this one. And just a quick reminder, in case you are not signed up, we do have the Daily News Recap email newsletter. It is great for news that happens after this drops in the morning and also what happens over the weekend. It's local free, hits your email inbox every night at 7 p.m., and I'm going to drop a link right here in the show notes. Anyhow, we do have a whole lot of news to catch up on, so shall we? On Saturday morning at about 9:15 a.m., the Anne Arundel County Police responded to a single-vehicle crash on southbound Shadyside Road near Haley Parkway, where a vehicle failed to negotiate a curve in the road. The driver, a 26-year-old woman from Baltimore, and her 3-year-old son in the rear were uninjured. However, the front seat passenger, Thomas Dudley Mahler, 54, of Baltimore, died at the scene. Annapolis resident Keith Lionel Brown, 65, has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for possessing over 1,000 files of child pornography on his Apple iPad. State's Attorney Ann Coltlitis expressed her commitment to holding such offenders accountable and preventing further crimes against vulnerable children. Turning to community news, the Anne Arundel County Department of Health has named Kingdom Care as the lead organization to implement the Cure Violence Global program in Annapolis. This program aims to prevent violence in Eastport, and it creates a safer environment for residents. Now, they've partnered with an organization called A Glimpse of Paradise to place people in the neighborhoods, and these people are called, quote, violence interrupters. I'm not sure how this program really differs from the new SEAT program announced by the Annapolis Police Department, or another program that the Annapolis Police Department is going to be announcing at noon today that is being spearheaded by the Freemasons. Hopefully, I'm going to find out at that noon press conference. Too many programs, not enough action. Good news for local businesses with flood damage. Annapolis Mayor Gavin Buckley declared a city state of emergency following that historic flooding last week. The flooding did cause extensive damage to businesses and nonprofits in downtown, mostly along Dock Street, as well as Eastport, again, mostly along Back Creek. This declaration will enable affected parties to access Volt Disaster Recovery Grant Program funds. They will aid in their recovery efforts. They're eligible for up to $50,000 apiece. The Volt money will be distributed by the Anne Arundel County Economic Development Corporation. A quick follow-up on that fire at the Lighthouse Homeless Prevention and Support Center. All programs now are back in operation, and the family living spaces are up and running. However, the dormitory spaces for individuals are still being repaired, so about 45 residents are being accommodated in local hotels while those repairs are done. Finally, a bit of exciting news because I am a podcast geek and also because I had something to do with this, but Leadership Anne Arundel is launching a podcast titled LAA on Leadership. The first episode is going to be dropping on January 15th, and it features leaders from various industries in Anne Arundel County sharing their insights on effective leadership. It's pretty cool. You can subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts. You just want to search for Leadership Anne Arundel and then click subscribe. Hopefully you caught our Canines and Crosstreks on Friday with Lisa, an older Maltese Terrier mix who has a really very sad story and honestly probably not too much longer to live and needs a perfect home for the rest of her life. Hopefully you do have some room in your heart and your home for her. If you missed it, go back, give it a listen. On Saturday, we spoke with Roman at Maryland Curiosity Lab, the new kid on the block when it comes to elementary schools in the area. A very cool concept. If you missed it, go back and give that a listen too. And if you have a little kid or kids and are looking for a school, you want to consider this one. All right, that's a wrap. Thank you first and foremost, and also a quick thank you to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief. Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, and Hospice of the Chesapeake. Ann Covington is here with her Monday Money Report, and George Young from DCMDVA Weather is here with the only locally forecasted weather report you're going to find. All that's coming up in just a bit, so make sure you hang around.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham, where appointments are not necessary. Mac Medics is an Apple-authorized service provider. Mac Medics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. Mac Medics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call Mac Medics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be, so you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, January 15th. Looks like we're finally done with the rain for a while across the Annapolis region, of which we've seen nearly 15 inches since November 21st of last year, a span of about 55 days. And we're now in a wintertime period with a little light snow expected today into tomorrow to finally break the big snow drought for the region, with an expectation for colder temps each day through the weekend and maybe even a little more snow on Friday. Look for mostly cloudy skies today with temps in the mid-30s and a chance of some light snow later this morning into the evening hours with additional chances for light snow tonight into Tuesday morning, with an expectation for snowfall totals of maybe 1 to 3 inches across all of Anne Arundel County and the middle and upper Maryland Eastern Shore, with maybe a little less in the lower Eastern Shore down towards Salisbury and Ocean City. Most of the snow should stick given the colder temps, so be safe if out and about and expect some potential delays or even cancellations to school schedules tomorrow, especially if snow falls tomorrow morning, and if this area of low pressure overproduces a bit and possibly brings maybe 3 to 4 or 5 inches to the region. From there, temps should stay cold in the 30s each day through the weekend, with a chance for additional snow Friday, as another area of low pressure could potentially bring more precip to the region. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and X for updates all day, as well as DCMDVAweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing it can be confusing. Anne Covington, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it for nearly 20 years. Are you ready? Now, here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Anne Covington of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. Halfway into January, the S&P 500 is up almost 1%. The market largely ignored strong inflation data on Friday. The Consumer Price Index, or CPI, came in at 3.4%, with core CPI, which removes food and gas from the calculation, at 3.9%. Remember that the Federal Reserve Bank has a dual mandate: price stability, which they have targeted as an average inflation rate of 2%, and maximum employment. Some analysts have been predicting rate cuts as early as March. I believe with continued unemployment numbers below 4% and persistent inflation that we won't be seeing interest rates come down anytime soon. With higher interest rates staying around, now is a good time to look at both sides of your balance sheet. If you have cash in a checking or savings account, move it to a high-yield savings account or money market, ideally one earning over 4%. Check with your financial advisor. They may offer these accounts with FDIC coverage limits of up to $1 million. If you have high interest rate debts, now is the time to pay those off. If you have multiple accounts, pay the minimum on each of them and then put everything you can towards the one with the highest interest rate. If you have serious debt, this may mean getting a second job for a few months or forgoing all but the necessities for a little while. Consolidation loans may also be an option if you can lower your interest rate. Before you pay off lower interest rate loans, think about two things. First, can I earn more in a high-yield savings account? And second, will I still have enough in emergency savings if I pay off this loan? Being debt-free, with the exception of a mortgage, is a terrific goal. But if someone will lend me money to buy a car at 2%, and I can earn 4% in a savings account, I'd rather put the money in the savings account and set up automatic payments for the loan. Your action item this week is for parents of college students. The revised FAFSA is finally open, so be sure to file as soon as possible. Also this week, our signature event, Women, Wine, and Wisdom, goes co-ed. Come out Tuesday night for an economic update, looking at what happened in 2023 and what we expect for 2024. Registration for this and all our educational events is on our website at CovingtonAlsina.com or on our Facebook page. CovingtonAlsina is a registered investment advisor. Information presented is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to make an offer or solicitation for the sale or purchase of any specific securities, investments, or investment strategies. Investments involve risk and unless otherwise stated are not guaranteed. Be sure to first consult with a qualified financial advisor and/or tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed herein. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Anne Covington with CovingtonAlsina.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.